Hey, I'm Dr. J-Mac, and welcome to a blind react to Living with the World's Biggest Testicles. As a side note, I recently got banned from TikTok for posting a testicle video. It was crazy. This dude had a 70-pound scrotum that he'd been living with for 8 years, and somehow they deemed it a content violation. I don't know. Maybe it's because I showed pictures of it without any clothes over it. You'll see in this video, this guy puts like a hoodie over his to cover it up. I didn't put the hoodie over my pictures, but I probably should have. And away we go. Those noises. Oh, this poor
Oh my goodness. What a way to try to sit down on the side of a bed, huh?
guy. It's like a pregnancy pillow between his
Wesley
legs.
Warren Jr., known to his friends as Warren, suffers from a condition called massive scrotal lymphedema.
Oh, they can show it, but I can't?
Put simply, his testicle sac has swollen to enormous proportions.
I don't know, I kind of feel like an animal. All of this effort in order to prepare to eat. Isn't that something?
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes seen in Africa and Asia, this condition is extremely rare in the Western world, and it's destroying Warren's life.
Would that be interesting on the front page of one of the British tabloids? Man eats dinner off of enlarged testicle sac.
At least he has a sense of humor about it, you know?
One morning,
God, you have to.
sat up in the bed a little too quickly.
It is kind of a convenient surface.
Slammed my right leg right down onto my right testicle. That was the most intense pain that I could ever recall having felt in my entire life.
Is he saying?
Morning number 2, my testicle sac swollen, literally, about the size of a soccer ball.
This all happened from a trauma?
Warren visited the hospital, where they diagnosed the swelling as an infection and treated it with antibiotics. The drugs did nothing. In the years that followed, Warren saw countless doctors, but none of them could help. All that time, the skin around his penis and testicles continued to grow until they became engulfed.
Yeah, and people always ask, they're like, what happens to the penis when it gets that big? I actually don't think this is an accurate representation. I think that the tissue of the outer surface of the penis itself begins to kind of invaginate is what I've seen in the past. And invaginate is what it sounds. It sounds like kind of a vagina, but the tissue itself gets kind of lifted off and up. And that's what I see in the emergency department, is that, you know, instead of the anatomy being intact and the scrotum being kind of around it, it almost becomes part of the scrotum with this tiny little hole in the surface. I've never seen it, obviously, to this extent, but I've seen it when there's, you know, it's the size of almost a watermelon, actually, which is pretty massive. But not compared to this, bro. You win, homie. You win. And then, you know, kind of the next question is, how do you urinate? You know, and the answer is sometimes it gets to the point where you're unable to urinate, and then it becomes a urological emergency. That is, if you're unable to get the urine out, there becomes this kind of like backflow issue where, you know, the kidneys keep creating urine, but there's nowhere for the urine to go. So you get an obstruction, and your bladder starts to get bigger, and then the swelling starts to move up into the ureters, or the tubes that connect the kidneys with the bladder. The kidneys themselves then begin to swell, and that's a condition known as hydronephrosis. And if the swelling is in the ureter as well, it's called hydroureteronephrosis. And this causes problems, as you would guess, right? You get acute kidney failure, and you can really jack up your kidneys long term if the obstruction is not relieved. I've had people come in who have had so much swelling. By the way, go see like crazy medical mysteries. I forget the name of mind-blowing medical mysteries of the case of a Benadryl overdose, because this one patient took so much Benadryl that she couldn't pee, and her bladder essentially grew to the size of her abdomen. Her entire abdominal cavity from her rib cage down to her pelvis was just, all bladder. And when we finally got fluid out, I confirmed it with my nurses, because I actually undershot in that video and I said it was 4 liters, but 6 liters came out of her bladder. So this is a really long tangent, but basically this can lead to some very serious problems, and this guy's lucky that he was able to continue to urinate. I don't know if lucky would be the right word to use with this guy, but okay, let's start again. Here we go. Play.
Not only has he had to give up work, he can't go out with friends or on dates. He can't have sex.
Yeah, of course not.
He is almost caged in the room he lives in.
This will cause serious back problems
I miss
too.
just doing simple things, such as going to the post office and shopping in the supermarket. I miss not being able to drive if I want to.
Yeah.
It's almost like being in prison in solitary
How
confinement
does he go anywhere?
with better TV.
Having friends like Monique and Joey is a new thing for Warren. Born 49 years ago in Orange, New Jersey, he was an only child, and he had a difficult home life.
My father was borderline pure evil at times. Kids would come over a lot because we had to play basketball. So my father would come home from work. Hey, what are all you kids doing here? We're keeping up all this noise. He says, go on, get out of here. Go on back to your own homes. And the way he was, those kids ran. One day, they ran for the last time, and they never came back.
It took Warren years to overcome these early experiences. These days, he has just a few close relationships.
It's just hard for me to find people that are compatible enough to be around.
No love interest.
No. That part of my life is just never
They're not
really
showing a very
panned out.
flattering image of
In
him
part
as well.
due to the
It's
fact
just
that
like
I'm a very less than
spaghetti
desirable appearing looking individual. You never know what tomorrow will bring. There are so-called chubby chasers out there, I suppose. Maybe I'll meet somebody that's blind.
Warren's situation is becoming critical, and that's never more apparent than when he's forced to venture
hoodie.
out.
He puts
His
it in a
testicle
hoodie.
sack is now so large, he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers. Just walking down the road without overbalancing is a feat.
For every step I take, it's like somebody else running 5 steps. I draw attention everywhere I go, and there are a lot of people that will look and laugh and stare in shock and awe and amazement, and it's tough to deal with it, because essentially this is a sort of a living and breathing freak show.
Warren's life is at stake. He has to find a solution before it's too late.
Come on, Warren! We're all rooting for you, buddy. Oh my gosh. I need the ending. Where's the ending? Does it tell us? Did he get it fixed? I don't know. Now we need to know this. I'm Googling it right now. Did man from CNN video get his testicles smaller? I don't know. How do you even search for this? Okay, here we go. 2013. The man with the 132-pound scrotum. That's even bigger than the one that I posted about. I posted about a 70-pound scrotum. You trying to one-up me, homie?
A few moments later.
Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. I found a Wikipedia on this broham. Okay, Wesley Warren Jr. All right. April 2013, University of California was aware that Warren could not afford the surgery, so performed it for free. Yay, Wesley! That's amazing. Struggled with this man with the 10 stone. Died of complications. Oh, no. He died? He finally got his life back? And he died? Oh, my gosh. That's so sad. Well, I hope he got his friends back that ran away when he was a kid. That's at least he didn't die from the surgeries themselves. He died of just complications from diabetes. Oh, my man. R.I.P. Wesley Warren Jr. I'll always remember you. Poor guy. That's great that they did it. This is Dr. J Mac signing off. No more screwed pictures on TikTok.